Namaste. Welcome to class. Almost Christmas. Very, very strange Christmas this year, right? So this morning's class, we're going to focus first on the breath, about where we like our breath to be in asana. And then we're going to go into asana. And I want us to work lunges today. So we'll have our method to our madness of how we get there. But for now, just finding your comfortable seat. Make sure that you're supported if you'd like to be on a pillow or a block or a bolster, anything that can lift your sit bones off, then letting your legs pour out of that. You can always put blocks underneath your knees, keeping the inner leg supported so that it's not just hanging in space, okay? So finding your comfortable seat for a moment. And then rooting down, everything that's making contact with the floor, your feet, your legs, your knees, everything that you feel rooted down, sit bone, root down, and then rise up with the spine, feeling the spine lift. Just taking a few easy breaths. And then if you are where you can join me for an Om, let's do that together. Bringing the hands into the heart. With gratitude, we salute all the great yoga masters, past and present. With joy, we recognize the excellent wisdom teachings of yoga and Ayurveda. And with vigor, we dedicate ourselves to self-transforming practice. So think of that, self-transformation. What do you need today? And then let's join our voices in Om. Exhaling the breath all the way out and a nice big inhale to chant. And then release your hands to your legs for a moment, just to make some circles, working around our hip bone, just to get comfy for one more moment while we breathe for a moment. It's a little chilly here. I'm going to take off my shawl so that you can see, but it is chilly. Cover up my toes. Okay, so let's focus on the breath we talk about often, our chest breath that's appropriate for asana. So putting your hands on your ribs, your thumbs behind you, and the index finger wrapped around your ribs. Good. Exhale and take your belly to your spine and keep it there. And inhale into your hands. Exhale. Keep the belly in. Inhale, hands. And exhale. Inhale. Keep it low in your hands. Don't worry so much about it going up. And exhale. Couple more. See if you can spread it to the back ribs. Exhale. Belly stays in. And exhale. Now, why do we use this breath for asana? Okay, because the belly is engaged, which stabilizes our low back. As we do our poses this morning, I really want to make sure we have that low back stability going on. Okay, so nice tall spine for a moment. Just nice tall spine. And then take a little twist over to the left. Go ahead and take your head out over your left shoulder. And then inhale, bring your head back over your right shoulder. And then on your next exhale, release the twist. And then a light little inhale and twist over to the right side. Go ahead and take your chin out over your right shoulder. And then arch your chin up and over your left shoulder. And on your next exhale, release the twist. Good. And then both arms up overhead for a moment, palms to touch, and then both arms down, fingertips to touch. Flip the palms, inhale up, and exhale, palms facing down. Flip and up, flip and down. Two more. Good. And then bringing ourselves into table pose, where we can do a little bit of cat pose in both directions. So finding your stability. Let's make sure our hands are underneath our shoulders. The wrists are underneath the shoulders. The knees are underneath the hips. So find your neutral position in table. Good. And then as you exhale, pull the belly to the spine, tuck the chin into the chest, get round. And as you inhale, find your neutral, little low back curve. And then exhale in the opposite direction, back of the head to the tailbone, tailbone to the back of the head, and inhale, find your neutral. So moving on the exhale breath, belly to spine. And as the breath comes into the chest, moving back to neutral. So finding your exhale to move and your inhale to bring you back into neutral. Good, keep going, just a few more. And neutral. And then from right here for a moment, I want to play for a moment with lunge, okay? So you have all of your right leg in the floor, lean back a little, and then take your right toes over, your left toes over by your left hand. Stack the knee right over the ankle, and then just come up for a moment. So just notice this low lunge here. So we took all the time by being down and firm and solid on the floor, because we're going to do it from a couple of different ways today. Press the top or curl the back foot under, or press the top of the foot into the floor. If the top of the foot is not on the floor, curl the back toes under. Like if your ankles are way off, curl it under. Good. And then if we front load our arms, it's a lot of a stretch on our low back. I don't recommend that. I recommend arms going out to the side and up, okay? And then I want us to notice where our spine is now. So with our leg, our back leg like it is, if we lean forward a little bit, still keeping that leg, front leg right over the ankle, and then come back, just that little bit. Don't let the front knee move. It's all happening just in the pelvic basket. Torso going with it. Good. And then arm floating down and return that leg. Good. Reestablish and do one cat in both directions. Exhale. Inhale, neutral. Exhale. And inhale, neutral. Okay. Now lean back a little, and we're going to take our right foot over by the right hand. Stack the knee right over the ankle, and then come up, hands on the front knee. Great. So looking forward, if you can for a moment, just pull in your belly, take a few breaths into the chest where we were talking about. Good. And then not letting your right knee travel at all. Take the arms out to the side and all the way up. And then just very gently keep the right knee right where it is, coming forward and back up. Just working from the knee up. Feel how it increases the flexion at your right hip. So don't let the right knee travel, just more flexion at the hip. And up, and one more. And up. Good. Release the arm. Place your hands back. Come back one more time into table. Hands underneath the shoulders. One more set of cat pose. Exhale, curl the spine toward the ceiling. Get round. Inhale, neutral. And then exhale, tailbone to head, head to tailbone. And inhale into neutral. Good. And then just coming up for a moment onto our knees. We're going to sit our hips back toward our heels, curl the toes under, sit back for a moment. Good. And then see if you can come up into toe balance. It says, we call it toe balance, but you're really on the ball of the foot. Don't dump the weight all the way into the toes. And then let's try to come up and stay on the ball of the foot. Just try to stay on the ball of the foot for a moment. All the way up, and then release. Great. Okay. So we're going to do now a lunge as part of a half sun salute. Okay. So we're going to just do all the way to the lunge. Now I've got a wall here beside me, so I am not going to be able to take my arms out to the side. But if I could, I would, and I would come and do it here with you, but then you lose my head completely. So I'm going to take my arms forward, but I want you to take your arms out to the side, okay? So mine are going to go forward, but I want yours out to the side where it's a lot safer for your shoulder girdle and for your rotator cuff. Ready? Okay. Inhale, hands into the heart. Exhale, just let the arms down. Inhale, flip the palms. Exhale, arms up. Pull the belly into the spine, and then inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Fold at the hip, not at the waist. Wherever you come is perfect. Look back towards your knees. Release your head, look back towards your knees. And then inhale, look out for a moment. And then exhale, fold one more time. And then let's go ahead and come up. Exhale, arms to the side and up, all the way up. Gaze up, look up, and exhale, hands into the heart. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, arms floating up. Exhale, fold at the hip. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, fold. And inhale, all the way up. And exhale, hands into the heart. Let's do one more. Inhale, arms floating up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, looking forward, long spine. Exhale, fold. And inhale, arms to the sides, coming up, all the way up, looking up, and exhale, hands into the heart. Okay? We're going to do the same thing, and we're going to add our lunge. Ready? Hands into the heart. Good. Find your Tadasana. Make sure that your feet are solid, front, back, side, side. Knees are stacked over your ankles. Hips are stacked over your knees. Shoulders are stacked over your hips. Trying to find one long line of energy. Good. Take a nice inhale. Exhale, release your arms just this one time. Inhale, arms to the side, coming up. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, looking up, looking forward. And then exhale, taking your left leg back into a lunge. Drop to the knee. Keep the torso right now over the right knee. Just keep the torso where it is, over the right knee. Let's bring our hands to above the right knee. Make sure the knee is stacked over the ankle, not over the foot. And then press up. Come up until you have a right angle with your hip and your spine. And notice you have your natural low back curve, okay? Belly into spine. Good. And then we're going to take our forearms and lean forward. Just press your forearms onto your, it's more like the whole right side of your forearms, right? Good. Breathe. And notice where you are. Just notice that line of energy from the back knee through the crown of the head. And then again, press up. And then take your arms, just walk the hands all the way up your body and up overhead. And look up. So the Tadasana, the only real back bend happening here is in your neck region as your head looks up. You have your natural low back curve, and then the head is looking up. And then float the arms down nice and carefully. Good. Let's come off the back knee. Inhale, a little hop to the front, long spine. Exhale, fold. And inhale, arms to the sides, coming up, all the way up. And exhale, hands into Anjali. Okay, rest in your Tadasana for just a moment. Good, and now we're going to do the other side, okay? So just find your Tadasana. Again, really lining up. Feet are rooting down so that we can rise with the spine. Root to rise, okay? Good. Breathing. Take a nice inhale. Exhale, root down. Inhale, hands into the heart. Good. Exhale, arms floating down. Inhale, arms to the sides, coming up, all the way up. And exhale, forward fold. Folding at the hips, not the waist. Look back between your knees. And then inhale, long spine. And then exhale, hands to the floor. Bend your knees as much as you need to for that to happen. And right leg back into a lunge. Reach the leg back as far as you can. Stack the left knee over the left ankle. And then drop to the knee. Good. Great. And now we're going to bring our hands to the top of the knee. And make sure that the knee is right over the ankle, not out over the foot. That will compromise the knee and the back hip and everything. So just bring it back, stack it firmly. Good. Back toes can be curled under or laid out, whichever gives you the most traction. You decide. I'll lay it out so that I can remember to tell those of you who laid it out to curl it under when we go. Okay. Good. And then I want us to use our forearms and lean forward. So noticing that we still have our low back curve, very slight, and the spine is long, elongated spine, natural curves. And then put the hands back and push off, noticing how the flexion at the hip changes. And then walk the arms up the body, arms up. And then as you're ready, looking up. Breathe. And then let's float the arms down, either side of the mat. If you have your back foot laid out, curl it under, come off the back knee. Make sure you left room for your right foot at the front. And then on your next inhale, a little hop, long spine. Exhale, fold. And inhale, arms to the sides, coming up, all the way up. And exhale, hands into Anjali. Good. And just rest for a moment. Recalibrate, as Siri would say, or an old GPS. Recalibrating. Breathing. Notice your breath. Keep your belly stable. Breath is in the chest, in the low ribs of the chest, all the way around. Remember, you're 360, not in the front only. Good. And then inhale, hands into the heart. Take a nice inhale. As you exhale, lower the arms, flip the palms. Good. And then inhale all the way up. Gazing up. Exhale, hinge at the hip and fold. Look back between your knees. Inhale, look forward, find a long spine, wherever you might find that. And then bend the knees as much as you need to, hands to the floor, stepping your left leg. Again, back into a lunge. Good. Let's drop to the knee. Bring our forearms to the front knee. And this time, raise off the back leg. Good. Just press through the heel, through the calf. Good, just being here for a moment. Engage the glutes, hold your hips, and then bring your hand to above the knee and begin to press off. And just see how that is. We don't need to add arms this time, but see if you can distribute the weight. Front, back, side, side, front, back, side, side. So weight evenly distributed. Right knee right over your ankle. And then let's come down slowly to the forearms and then down to the knee. Good. And then hands to the floor. Come off the back knee. Inhale a little hop to the front, long spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms to the sides, coming up. All the way up. And exhale, hands into Anjali. Second side. Inhale, arms floating up. Exhale, forward fold at the hip. Inhale, gazing forward. Exhale, bend your knees as much as you need to. Put your hands and feet on the floor and then step your right leg back into a lunge. Drop to the knee. Good. And then bring your forearms to your left leg, right above the knee. Looking forward, looking down. Keep the knee over the ankle. And then press through your back leg. You can stay here. This can be the perfect place to work. You can just come down and go up a couple of times, or bring your hands to your leg, press up, and then divide the weight evenly. Front, back, side, side. Press through the heel. Keep the hips square to the short end of the mat. Don't let your right side reach back further than it needs to. Don't drop the weight into your hands. Don't collapse. And then lower to the knee. Bring the hands down to the floor. Good. Take one more inhale as you come off the knee. Exhale, press through the back heels. Lengthen the leg, hamstrings, and inhale. A little hop to the front. Long spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms to the sides. Coming up. All the way up. And exhale. Hands into Anjali. Good. So Tadasana for a moment. Just finding your Tadasana. Good. Breathing. Just notice the quality of your breath. Excellent. And now we're going to put this together into Surya Namaskar, into the sun salute. But when we get into the middle with our plank pose, our lowering to the floor, our cobra pose, and then to mountain, we're going to take it really slowly, okay? So I really want us to think about the back, low back especially. So bring in the belly. Tall spine. Find your Tadasana. Distribute the weight evenly. And inhale, arms to the sides, coming up, gazing up. Exhale, slowly begin your journey forward. Inhale, about halfway up, long spine. Exhale, bend your knees, hands to the floor. Left leg, back into a lunge. You can drop to the knee or stay up, which suits you right now. And then slowly sweeping the arms forward or to the sides. Coming up into our crescent lunge. Breath is in the chest, belly is super stable. And then float the arms down. Keep the knee over the ankle, don't let it go past. Lift off the back leg and Go to plank. Long line of energy. Press through the heels. Drop to your knees way back there. Reestablish plank. So press the floor away. You're welcome to come down slowly by going to your forearms one at a time, or 6 or 8 parts bowing. So lowering either to hover or chest and chin to touch, and then releasing a little baby cobra. Extend your feet, point the toes, knees will lift. Press the little toe side of the toenails into the floor. Lift your belly toward you. Good. Bring your elbows forward into Sphinx for a moment, and then let your legs relax. Just letting the legs relax for a moment. Good. And then look forward, not up, look forward. Press into your forearms. Press the spine toward the ceiling. Good. And then slowly come down to your low ribs, touch the floor. Bring your hands back underneath your shoulders. Great. Again, engage the legs, the feet, toes into the floor, pressing in. Knees have lifted. And then we're going to curl the toes under and either mountain or table. So if you're not inverting, come into table pose. If you are inverting, head up to mountain. Off Mount Madonna, often called downward facing dog. So either mountain pose or table pose. Don't invert. If you have glaucoma, if you have high uncontrolled blood pressure, if you're on your menstrual cycle, come to your knees and find table. And then let's all look forward at the space between our hands. So if you had your knee lowered, I want you to lower the knee now. So lower your right knee if you had your knee lowered, and your left leg comes forward. Otherwise, just stepping your left foot forward. Good. And then coming up, finding yourself evenly balanced, front, back, side, side. Arms can reach up. And then float the arms down gently. Come off the back knee. Inhale, a little hop to the front, long spine. Exhale, fold. And inhale, arms to the sides. Coming up, all the way up. Gaze up and hands into Anjali. We're going to do the right side last time, okay? Our last sun salute and our last lunge of the morning, all right? Take an inhale. Exhale, arms floating down. Flip the palms. Inhale, arms out to the side and all the way up. Gaze up. Exhale, dive forward. Long spine. Hinge at the hips. Look back between your knees. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, right leg back into a lunge. You may be different on this side. Drop to your knee or stay tall, totally up to you. You can bring your hands up or you can just sweep forward. Either way, taking it, making it your pose, your practice. Breathe into the ribs. Belly is super stable. As you exhale next, floating the arms down. Come off the back knee and step to plank. Press the floor away. Create a lot of space between your shoulder blades. Drop to your knees. Pull the belly in. Keep plank. So now the plank is from your knees to the crown of your head. Great. And then either coming down on your forearms, making your way slowly, or hinging the elbows back, not to the side. Hovering or touching chest and chin. And then little baby cobras. So small, you could lift your hands. Reach through the little toe side, point your toes. Pull the belly in, breathe into the chest. This is not the time to collapse the belly. Good, and then we're gonna go either into table or mountain. So if you're going to mountain, curl the toes under, press up and back into mountain. If you're not inverting, taking table, knees and hands onto the floor. Breathe. Imagine yourself pressing harder into your hands and shifting the weight to the back part of the body. And on your next inhale, look at the space between your hands. If you have your knees down, if you kept your knee down, drop that knee in. Otherwise, you can stay up. And then swing the right foot around. The only way to swing a leg around is if you have the opposite knee down. Otherwise, swinging is only going to destabilize your low back. Good. And then hands either above the knee or just sweeping forward. You decide. And if you took them to the knee, walk them up the body and reach up, look up. And then on your next exhale, float the arms down. Inhale, come off the back knee, a little hop to the front, long spine. Exhale, float. And inhale, arms to the sides, coming up, all the way up. And exhale, hands into Anjali. Finding your Tadasana, breathing. Relax the body, the breath, and the mind. Your eyes can close gently or a soft gaze toward the floor. And then on your next inhale, letting your eyes flutter open, just a little bit of a balance pose. So get really strong on your right side. Don't let your right hip head out. Externally rotate the left leg. So just externally rotate, just the leg, nothing moves with the rest of the body. Good. You can keep that kickstand or you can bring it to above the ankle, just not into the knee. The knee does not want to be shoved to the side, or you can bring it up. You decide wherever you want to take it. You can also keep it kickstand. Just don't sink into that right hip. Arms up overhead, creating your tree. And remember that trees sway in the wind. So a little movement, totally natural. Feel free to experiment with your balance wherever it is. Every day is different. Thank goodness. Woo. And then as you're ready, bring the hands to the heart, unrotate the leg and release it. Good. Release the arms. And then get really strong on the left side. That left hip is not going to rock out to the left. Flex the leg and then the right leg. Externally rotate it and kickstand it. Start with your kickstand so you really know that you're even. Okay? Belly is in, everything is facing, and you're not leaning into that left hip. Great. And then any place you want to put the foot against the knee, anywhere except against the knee. Breathing. Find a drishti, a gazing spot, maybe one side of your computer. Trees sway in the wind. And then on your next exhale, hands into the heart. Bring the leg back. and then release it and just shake it out. Good. We're going to come down through a big squat if that's comfortable for you. So just finding your space and lowering yourself down, knees and feet in the same exact direction. Just lowering down and let your hips hang in gravity. Just letting that space work on your low back for a moment. Just a little bit of gravity. No twisting, no moving, no anything. Take your gaze toward the floor, or you can even close your eyes. Good. And then walking your hands back beside you, back behind you. Put your bottom firmly on the floor, but up onto the sit bones, not leaning onto your sacrum, up onto the sit bones. Roll your shoulders back and down. And then let's play with just bringing the shins parallel to the floor. So lean back a little, but don't come into your sacrum, leaning only onto your sit bones. Roll the sternum through. And then release the toes to the floor. Put your feet on the floor. Pull yourself in nice and tight into the body. Good. And then take the soles of the feet together, the knees to the side. Vajrasana. Good. Sitting up on top of the sit bones, just feeling that for a moment. Good. And then just one last little series. So bring your left heel into the groin. If you need a block or something underneath your left knee, place it there. It's not on the ground. Not on the ground, put it on something. Okay? This is an external rotation. And now your right leg in internal rotation. Just rest your left hand on the floor. And then sweep your arm up and get long. And then sit your bottom down 3 times. And then just sit. Come back up. We're going to switch legs. Your right heel into the groin. And then the left leg now is an internal rotation. And you're going to lean over onto your right sit bone. And then come up, sweep the arm around, sit yourself down. Up and down. Up and down and up and down. Good. Bring both legs back in front. And then we're going to slowly make our way down to the floor. Okay? So if you are inverting and you want to take an inversion right now, that's appropriate. It could be bridge pose. It could be Viparita Karani Mudra, the legs up the wall with something underneath your hips. If you're not inverting today, I want you just to lie down and do windshield wiper pose. So you're going to put your feet mat width apart. I think I'll do it this way so you can see how my knees are mat width apart. And then when I actually drop my knees over to the left, I'm going to arch my spine and look to the right, and then come back into neutral, and then drop my knees over to the right, arch my spine and look to the left, and come back. So either windshield wiper or take your inversion, okay? Whichever you'd like. Couple minutes for that. Either your inversion or windshield wiper to either side, arching the spine, looking to the opposite side. But arching the spine is critical. You must do that. If there's any other pose that you'd like to do to finish up your practice, your asana practice, take that before Shavasana. And if you really want to treat, go into an early Shavasana. We still have 1 more minute for you to finish up whatever you are doing. But you can take an early Shavasana. Check in with your jaw. The jaw is the seat of the will. Is your jaw relatively relaxed? Slowly beginning to let yourself out of whatever you're in and moving into Shavasana. Babaji said the hardest pose of all is Shavasana. That quality of surrender that is so necessary. Take advantage of the posture from your body, your mind, your senses. You need to relax completely into the floor. Don't feel trapped by your mat. Let your legs extend beyond if it's not too cold, and arms can extend beyond. Just relaxing and letting me hold the space for you. Imagine yourself melting into the lap of Mother Earth. Just letting go. Slowly and gently bringing your awareness into the breath. finding the rise and the fall either in your belly or your chest. No judging, just finding it. As you bring the senses online, letting the eyes roll in the sockets, one direction, then the other. Letting the tongue roam the mouth, the back of the teeth, the roof of the mouth, swishing it along the front of the teeth. And then opening the mouth wide, as if you were yawning. Notice the snap, crackle, pop into the ears, wriggle your nose, and then swimming the toes and the fingers, touch. Gently making your way over to one side in embryo pose. You can either shrink or stretch, whatever helps you find your way all curled up, safe and secure in embryo pose. Just relaxing one last time, letting this pose, Gadadasana, have its effect, that gentle C curve to your spine. And then slowly and gently, using the upper arm to press the floor away, keep your chin tucked into your chest so that your head is the very last thing to come up and balance on top of the spine. Spiral yourself up to a comfortable seat, any seat. Just letting all of the asana do their work on body, breath, mind. Let your eyes close gently if they're not, or a soft gaze at the floor. Without changing anything else, take your breath down into your belly. As you inhale, just notice the belly expand. And as you exhale, use your abdominal muscles, press the breath out. Inhale, belly expands. Exhale, press the breath out. 3 more. And on your exhale, keep the belly into the spine and bring the breath into the chest where we took it at the beginning of practice. Spreading the ribs side to side. You can put your hands there again if you'd like. And exhale, letting the lungs recoil and the whole thoracic cavity move back into that smaller space. And then inhale into your hands or into the ribs. 360 degrees, front and back, side to side. Exhale. Exhale. Couple more. If you were using your hands, just relax them into your lap. Relaxing the hands into the lap, letting the spine be tall. And I would like for you to layer onto that chest breath practice, the practice of Ujjayi, victorious breath. So you're going to close the glottis as the breath comes in through the nose. making a little bit of a sound as it roughs past that spot. And then exhale with no sound out your nose. Just on the inhale. Just on the inhale. In and out the nose. A little slight Darth Vader breath on the inhale. And no sound on the exhale. Victorious breath. Keep the belly engaged. You're just breathing into the chest. As you pull it into the chest, try to get a little bit into the back body first. Back and front, back and front. And then letting your pranayama practice come to a close. Just relaxing the breath, letting it become natural, soft, shallow, just enough to sustain. Relax the tongue and the bottom of the mouth. We're moving into our meditation, this little movement as possible. Relaxing the shoulders down the back, softening your sternum and your chest. Legs are soft. Out of this solid base, the spine rises up like a fresh shoot, headed toward the sun. Breath is soft and shallow, just enough to sustain. Your eyes close gently or taking a soft gaze at the floor. Our meditation this morning on our own awareness. As soon as you become aware of a thought, blow a bubble around it and let it float off. In your imagination, every thought gets a bubble and floats away. Don't engage. Enclose it and let it go. See if you can concentrate on lengthening the time between the thoughts. Nirodha, control. Soft, shallow breath. Thoughts are bubbles floating away. Let it go. Blow a bubble around it and let it float away. Imagine, if you will, all of the bubbles floating high in the sky, letting the mind be still for just a moment as all of the bubbles drift, drift, drift. Releasing the meditation completely, letting it go. Bringing yourself back slowly. Letting your eyes flutter open as that's appropriate. Just feeling yourself back in your space. Complete, whole. Bringing the hands into the heart. Just relaxing the chin toward the chest for a moment, letting the back of the neck be long. So bowing the head. And bringing into your heart space and your mind, that mind-heart connection. People that you love for these holidays, that you want to gather them close to you in your heart, in your mind. Bring them into your space. And then very gently, just letting the head come back into a neutral position. Letting those thoughts stay deep in your heart, deep in your mind. Any merit we may have earned this morning in our very diligent practice of yoga, we lift it up to the welfare of all sentient beings. So making a seal for your practice this morning, maybe 2 fists, thumbs pointing up, pull them into your belly and your solar plexus. You can just bow your head a little bit, or you can prostrate over. Coming back up, hands into the heart. Hari Om Tat Sat. Namaste. Okay, I'm coming to you, although my right foot is asleep. My motto is when my foot goes to sleep in meditation, let it sleep. Let sleeping dogs lie. But then when I have to get up and walk across the room, it's always embarrassing to know that the yoga teacher is hobbling to wherever she has to go after meditation. Okay, let me fix this so we can interact and I can see your beautiful faces. Okay, let's see. First is participants. Allow. Yes, okay. Next is remove the spotlight. Good morning, Mary. You're my first one that I see. Nice to see you back at class. All right, let me get the view of you guys. Gallery. Yay, now I have you. Welcome back home, Mary. Cam, nice to have you. Surya Prakash, as always, and Sandra. Ashok, thank you. Nancy, my sweet. Verinda, nice to have you. Anna, I'm glad you're there. Jen, hi, good morning. We spent the evening together. We had our Ayurveda class last night. Espe, I saw you come in and go out. I'm glad you came back. And Brenda and Tina, always nice to have you. Jessica, Nayana, my sweet. We spent, Cam and Nayana and I spent the whole weekend together in a YTT. Yeah, and Anna, you're gonna love this group. So you guys are gonna get all in and get smushy together. It'll be great. Yeah. So how are you? How was the practice? How are your lunges? How's your back? How's everything? Anybody? Anything go on? How did you feel stable in your lunge? Yeah. How about those knees out over your feet? Was everybody really cautious of that? Not letting the knees go out past the ankle, but keeping them joint on joint stacked so that it's a lot safer. Yeah, good. And then what about like any sort of strength that you needed? Because I wanted you to breathe the whole practice today into the chest breath so that you had your low back stable. Did you try to do that? Did you try to keep the chest breath engaged? Yeah. And how did that feel on your, now that you're done with practice, how does your low back feel? Pretty good? Excellent. Excellent.
Ginger,
Yeah.
a lot of it was I don't want to say a challenge because it wasn't quite that strong, but it was an exercise in balance. And as I was more balanced. So I was holding on to different places on the wall actually, but I was able to balance. Yeah.
Excellent. You know, when I tried to throw my arms out in front, I realized that was going to make my low back look weird and go weird. So then I had to take one hand sweeping it up the wall. I felt like I was going to get a nail in my fingernails at any point in time. There's not a nail there, but it felt really weird. But I know exactly what you mean, Jean. I had the wall too, so that I could actually if I needed it. There were a couple of times where I was saying balance front to left, right to right. Yeah, all of that was going. Yeah. So I'm thank goodness. No, Mary, windshield wiper is a psoas release. It is not a twist. There's no twisting. As a matter of fact, I want you to do anything but twist. I want you to really arch your spine and look out. It's just a big old arch to the spine and then come back, right? So if you twist, you're going to take it in your low back. And I wouldn't want you to take it in your low back. So it's just that's why the legs have to be so far apart, so that when you drop it over and arch, you can look back to the other direction, but there's not really a twist. The only thing that might be twisting is like right at your between the upper part of your clavicle and your sternum, right? But your thoracic is just opening and very, very slight, like a little tiny, but not like a real twist. Also, we wouldn't want to twist if we were going to do that much of an arch. So just kind of open and lying back, open and lie back, right? Try to keep the legs. So the reason that we do that, because in all of this lunging, you know, our psoas is deeply flexed right there, as are all the hip flexors. So then that windshield wiper feels good to that upper leg because the psoas then gets to lengthen again, right? So that you can feel that upper leg long in the quadriceps and then in the psoas. So that just opens up what we just flexed really a lot during all of the lunging. That kind of reopens it. Does that make sense? Yeah. So anybody staying home alone? Not really alone, but I mean, relatively alone, like not inviting new people to your home for Christmas? Yeah, yeah. Mhm. And so Brenda's going somewhere, or someone's coming to her.
We're going outside to my son's back porch, and it's going to be 42 degrees and get colder as the day goes by. So I think that might last like 10 minutes. So we'll see. It's better than nothing.
Too bad you can't rent one of
Better
those
than
little
getting
heat
sick,
lamps
so.
to go there, you know.
I know we have a fire pit in our yard, but all the stuff is there, so we're going to go there. But we've
Yeah.
actually had people here, and we have a big spacing of our Adirondack chairs around a fire pit, so we're like 10 feet apart in a circle. Only 4 of us though total.
That's nice.
So yeah, that's it. But no other. I'm gonna go drop off something for my brother and shout to him from my car and throw his present at him.
Throw his present at him. I love that.
Yeah. There's present is there's socks that say, if you can see the bottom of my socks, go get me a cookie.
That's fabulous.
You could throw those.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yesterday, for those of you who are on Facebook, if you look at my Facebook yesterday, I put at breakfast, I had told the gardener and his wife, Don Agapito and Doña Pascuala, who live with me, that for getting in the Christmas spirit, we were going to put out the nativity scene. That's really what I wanted, was just the nativity scene. And I said, and we don't have to get the whole thing out. We can just get Joseph and Mary, and then Jesus can come on the night of the 25th before the morning, you know, Christmas Eve. I said, you guys can put him before you go to bed. I know I'll go to bed before you guys, but you can, because last year he bought baby Jesus the most beautiful white dress, just beautiful. So I said, you guys can put out baby Jesus. And when I come down on Christmas morning, baby Jesus will be there. And so I just left it at that. And I had other work to do. And so I just buried myself in the computer for a little while. And about 2.5 hours later, I walked down, and there are the 2 of them with their daughter, all 3 of them in masks. This is all outside in open air, right? They're not inside. And they had made the nativity scene, and she stopped. She went into town and got sawdust and all of these things, moss and sawdust, and it's beautiful. And they put lights up and put the light in they put it where my regular altar is. So they moved the altar to one side, but put lights around the Virgin of Guadalupe, who's in the regular altar. And it just looks so pretty. So I think you don't even have to do Facebook to be able to go there, but I made a video of it. So it's really sweet. So it's a 1-minute video, a whole minute of having to look at my nativity scene, but it's really quite amazing. When baby Jesus is born, I'll take a picture so everybody can see his white dress, because it's really sweet. He has a hat and everything, like a bonnet, like little kids used to wear. Yeah. And so anybody else, anything amazing for Christmas, or anything that you?
I'm going to do another Zoom room where I just have Zoom open all day and send everybody the link. I did it over Thanksgiving, and I had more people at Thanksgiving than I've ever had in person.
Wow.
The furthest person was from Vienna, Austria.
Wow.
So
wow. I
it
can't
was fun.
sit at the computer that long on Christmas Day. You know, I do this, I'm doing it so often now. I just can't, I can't even imagine. I will Zoom with one kid. The other kid will probably FaceTime me because he's not much of a Zoomer. And that's about it. Yeah.
Ginger, where are your kids now? Are they in Santa Cruz?
They are. Rudy's in Santa Cruz. He's in Aptos and Alex is in Corralitos. Uh-huh. Yeah. Alex is an EMT and I'm so glad they're next on the list for vaccines after the 75 and older. So he will get vaccinated pretty soon.
You know, my daughter's Sally's a EMT and she just got vaccinated a few days ago.
Yeah, he works HMR, I think. I don't know what it is. Some big old thing, you know, and they're sending out their notes as to when you're going to get your vaccine. But I guess they're waiting on the Moderna because I think they're taking Pfizer. He's in Monterey County. So yeah, he drives down to Monterey every day. Well, not every day. He works part-time. Yeah, well, I hope everyone has a Merry Christmas. And you know, we're going to have class on the 24th. We are going to have class. I know it's 6 a.m. for you guys and it's mighty early, but we're still going to have a Christmas Eve class because I love Christmas Eve everything.
Is
So
that
we'll
in
have,
Spanish, Ginger?
what, Nance?
Is that in Spanish?
No, it's in English. Yeah. Yeah, it's in English. The Spanish classes fell by the wayside because I had more people doing, all the people who were coming to the Spanish class spoke English and Spanish, and there were several who didn't speak any Spanish. They were trying. So we just moved to English. And although I must say, with that said, I've lost quite a few of the students who spoke both because they really like to come to a Spanish speaking class. So after the first of the year, I may switch like at some point back into Spanish for 1 day a week. We'll see. We'll see what we'll see what the new year brings. Isn't that amazing? It's only a week away and we'll see what the new year brings. Yeah. Okay, everyone. So maybe I'll see you for Christmas Eve morning. And if not, please have a wonderful, Merry Christmas and send loving vibes to all of your loved ones and know that they can get them in the ether. They can get them. They're there. All they have to do is reach up and grab them. Okay, everyone. Many blessings. Beautiful to see you. So nice to hang out with you. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah, Kwanzaa. Whatever you celebrate, happy.